we're going to kick things off here with our co-founder and CEO of Flexi, Stefan Bothe.
Thank you, Spencer. I'd like to add my welcome to all of you for attending the user conference. When I founded or co-founded Flexi 30 years ago, I would have never imagined that I would be here in conducting a user conference 30 years later. And what a difference it is also. Our first user conference in New York, we were on a boat for dinner, we were in big meetings, and now we're all, thanks to the virus here, isolated into our individual homes. But nevertheless, it's exciting to have a chance to talk to you guys. For 30 years, Flexi has brought innovative leadership in financial accounting solutions for the open enterprise, but we can build the best products, which I think we do. We can hire the best people, which I think we do. But at the end, we need our clients to be the best we can and to be successful. And I'd like to add my thanks to you guys for being part of our success and for making us successful. Spencer, next one. Over the years, Flexi has sort of looked at this evolution. We started this slide way back in 1990 when we founded Flexi. We looked at the evolutions, and I think we have participated in this evolution in a very proactive, responsive manner to help you, of our clients, to stay ahead or in line of the game. I think there's no other industry that I know of that self-obsoletes itself on a regular basis by constantly pushing the envelope and moving things forward. If the auto industry had done that, we would be probably flying in cars today, or we would have engines that go 100 or more miles. And if it wasn't, quite frankly, for the electric cars, and think how Tesla downloads and upgrade to make an improvement in the car, you don't have to go to a service station to do it. So finally, they're getting that way. But we always in the industry have pushed forward, and we as Flexi have tried to be ahead of the game. So in 1996, we introduced workflow, for example. At that time, together with a client, we built it. I can tell you around that time, it was a tough thing selling workflow to people. And the companies just weren't ready for it. They didn't see it. Now, of course, we couldn't sell an AP without workflow. In 2002, we made improvements with APIs we released. In 2008, we introduced our own report writer after we had been reselling, like everybody else, FRX, which Microsoft bought and eventually didn't want us to resell it anymore. In the 10 to 18 time frame, we did a lot of e-app application like eT&E and eVendor and other things. We have Flexi Cloud that we introduced in 2018, and again, it's the way the trend was, and we want to be responsive, and we have. I'll chat about that in a few minutes, a little bit more. And then the additional automations, apps and new products. We just introduced our budgeting product. We've had analytics. And so I think one day we'll extend this thing out into more years, but this is just sort of an evolutionary path. And I think I'm proud that we have tried to be as responsive and as proactive as we could. Spencer? Next one. So, just looking at some major trends, most of you are quite aware of these, but it doesn't hurt to summarize them. Obviously, there's a wide acceptance cloud, SaaS subscription. I think the biggest hindrance to moving a cloud for most people was security. I think that has now been resolved to a point where everybody's very comfortable with it. Way back with Sarbanes-Oxley got introduced, people were afraid to, maybe, move their data out in the cloud, but whatever. And that has now all changed, and major activities going in that area. Many of our clients and other people are migrating from the on-prem to cloud. Faster response time is even more critical. We're all under pressure to be responsive for remote access, like this, what we have here today, other people traveling. I think the office by itself, I gave this presentation many years ago and talked about dinosaurs of the 21st century. And I think, office buildings is one of those, shopping centers probably as well. But, I think we'll see fewer of us return into the regular space. So you got to be able to get good, fast remote access. And, at net, we, I think, finally, over the years, started delivering what client server promised early on, and that was, delivering on the promise of the user friendliness, empowering the user, etc. So I think we're moving in the right direction, and we're happy to be part of that as well. Spencer, so if we look at some of the industry pain points, and trust me, I'm not going to go through every one of these with you individually, but what I find exciting about when I look at this slide, back in the mid-96, we talked about these 4 points: flexibility, adaptability, performance, and cost of ownership. Those were always guiding lights for us. We always felt the system should be flexible so that the changes in technology could be embraced easily, and there should be no risk for the system obsolescence. And again, I talked a minute ago about the self-obsolescence that we have in this industry. We're pushing, and I think we did it with the open architecture, client-server technology, industry standard languages we use instead of proprietary languages like many of our competitors did. Adaptability, again, your business changes, every business changes. You acquire, you divest, you add into new product lines. The business got to be able to respond quickly. The application got to be able to respond quickly to this. So I think our technology allowed us to do this. Performance, we've always been, from the very beginning, very high performance, throughput oriented. We had some tremendous numbers early on with some major banks and others, and we have constantly moved forward on that. Security clearly is a very important part. Native support of databases is very important. And I think this is, again, back in 96, we talked about these, and here we're saying has improved, but these are still areas that I think we need to focus on. And cost of ownership has always been very important to me. I never wanted to have implementation be more than one time the cost of the software, and we've always done that. We've competed against others like SAP and PeopleSoft 4-6 times, 6 to 1. We think it's very important that we do this in a cost-effective manner, and there are many other advantages that go with that. And so I'm very proud that this has been guiding us, and I think will continue to guide us. Spencer? Taking a very high-level view at where I think the future is, and this was, by the way, prepared by Deloitte and Touche in a report back in 2016 when they did this. And they're talking about the digital look at the operational finance and the changes that are going to happen with what they call, the centralized shared service factories, finance factories. There are a lot of routine tasks that are going to have been outsourced. They can be put in shared factory services where they're repetitive tasks. They can be improved upon through technologies such as RPA, the robotic process automation, cognitive or artificial intelligence. Talked about, we already added some of that capability to our products, so repetitive tasks and the way an entry had been done in the past, if that's the way it's being done, the system will recognize that. And so they're in the cloud, of course. So there will be trends towards this. We're just want to make sure we're thinking about this. Many of our partners in the BPO, the business process outsourcing business, that also have done, part of our presentation and our meeting here today, see this as a way that they will be able to do services for a large base of their clients. We have one company in the hospitality restaurant industry, and it's a lot of these things you have to do in order to offer very effective solutions for your customers. It's not there tomorrow, but it's there happening. And I think the exciting part is back to, again, empowering the end user. A lot more of your tasks will be spent on analyzing, adding value rather than just making the basic operational tasks take place. So we're looking at that, we're working on that, and we want to prepare to be ready for this, and already have done a lot in that area. Spencer? So if you look at major trends, clearly on the user side, they're reducing the financial close cycle, automating a lot of it, providing better tools. We're moving that, and I think we'll be talking today at the user conference about that. And then again, the technology-driven part, I touched upon that a minute ago on the artificial intelligence, the robotic process automation. A lot of manual tasks can be done more efficiently by the machine, so we can use our brain power for the analytical work. And the emergence of that finance factor, the shared services, It's not going to do away with what we do as accountants or finance department, but it will shift our focus into, I think, where the greater value added for us as accountants is. Spencer, next slide. And so, in summary, where are we seeing things happening? Well, we talked about the finance factory. We talked about, we continue to have and constantly have to improve on our suite of financial applications, and we're doing this. High performance we consider and will consider to be very important. We always want to be as open as we can. We want to make integration into third-party applications as easy as we can. We have established ourselves in the BPO market and in the partner white label market, as many of you may know, and I know Allscripts is attending here today, and and Optum and others who are using our software as part of their total business solution. And we're very honored that they're basically trusting their entire business model on utilizing our software as part of their solution. And this has been very gratifying for us. It's been always a very important part of our life from back in '96 when we signed up, which eventually became McKesson and now is Allscripts. So it's been an exciting ride for us in that space as well. Process-driven workflow applications, I mentioned we started them early on. We'll continue to enhance on that. And, overall, it's in a way gratifying, but also, very satisfying in many ways that what we started out doing back in the early 90s, and our focus was the right focus, and our focus will remain in the same areas as we bring you the technology and solution, that allow you to stay ahead of the game. And, those of you who've been around with us for a while, you know that the way, you did your job 15 years ago has changed dramatically today, and we believe we have played a role in that as well. So in summary, I thank you very much, for attending this conference. Thanks for 30 exciting years. It's been a great ride, and hopefully we'll continue doing just the same thing. Thank you very much.